next hypothetical home might be, then I need to perform. I need to put my name out.
Here we go.
Invincible.
Sometimes I'm selfish, get jealous. I feel a little helpless. My whole world has shifted again. You made a promise, I kept it. Now I'm second guessing. My whole world has shifted again. Now I drive back to an empty room, and it's setting in. Now that your things are gone,
inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Say I'm good-hearted, but I'm just getting started. Got my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Broke all the cages, no, I will sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. they'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
We gon' turn the crib into a club like Hennessy and Buddha screaming thug life. Get it, baby, you know I'm the plug, right? Fucking got a feeling that it's gonna be
Let Blame have an issue or two that's going to be sorted out. You can see likely an audio issue there, everybody, but that's a great way to get the day underway for the Danish side. And I have been liking the progression of Astralis upwards, right? Early on, we saw maybe some conflicts in roles and positions, but they've been able to settle into something that now is resembling quite a strong side here. Now, there's still the win conditions of Blame playing a strong game and Config if he can catch fire. But I think Farley here is an upgrade of a Lucky is nice to see, and we'll actually get to see how much he can truly develop under this team.
It is kind of, it is the perfect stat to bring up when if ever one of your friends, I'm talking to the guys at home here. If one of your friends says bait F, and he's one of those guys that keeps spamming bait F in the chat, you just say he's the highest rated CT player at the major currently.
Yeah, look, I do prefer Blame F when he's not in-game leading and he's actually getting used and moved around the board by Glaive, the mastermind in the middle of the screen right here. Right, I think that it takes that out of Blame's even thought process, right? He can chip in as that secondary in-game leader, assist in that manner, but having him be able to focus on his crosshair a little bit more and get put in some of these positions, they can actually set him up because as an individual, he is an absolute beast. There's no doubt about it. And I think that this, alleviates a bit of the problems. Previously, when you look at complexity, it was international team. He's having an in-game lead. I think he was the best player in that team, right, as well. So trying to set himself up for success. He's showing to be the best player in this team as well. Right. But I think there's, a little bit more respect to the likes of like the Glaive and the Zipex of the world for what they've been able to achieve with Danes as well, back to native language as a conversation. So there's lots of positives here. Yeah,
and you want to talk positives. You got Spirit on the screen. And I mean, Matthew, of course, bringing up a little bit of a grudge. Spirit have been so close to deep runs on multiple occasions, multiple Tier 1 tournaments, even the majors themselves. And those adventures typically cut short by a big name. Admittedly, the name's different, both in Astralis and that of Spirit, but it's impressive to me that in the same kind of vein of Astralis, Spirit have been able to, once again, find new names, pull a Patsy, pull a Siren, and, wow, sounds like there is some action unfolding in the player
Imperial
area.
IHC game, yeah, that one's going on, so that one's an elimination match over there. But yeah, just to dig back into what you were mentioning with Spirit, right? When we were casting them during the online realms and we had the rise of the CIS region, right? Spirit was one of those teams, and Magic's playing and streaming a lot, right? Dexter was a beast on the AWP, Mir in the mix. Now, Mir's not with the team, and I didn't think they would be able to recover this level of form without Mir. But to see them here and performing at this level, Siren, one of the newest names on the screen, he's been looking good. Magic's still, right? Boris the Butcher, as we donned him once upon a time. There's some exciting names as part of this team.
As your recap for you, you did just witness the pistol. If you just joined us, it was an Astralis win. Starting here on Overpass, a best of 3, and my God, did the map pool raise a brow or two? Ancient as a second. Looking forward to that one. That's Astralis' pick. Nuke, should we require it? But map 1, round 2. Zutritt verboten by the Molotov.
He's just going to be a full eco right here out of Spirit. We expect these rounds to play out very slow. Just baiting out that CT utility. A flash in the hands right now. Patsy to try and enable his teammates if there is an aggressive maneuver. And you can see Farley, he's flirting with danger right now. Pushed on up, does take a bit of a fight. The flash on over from Patsy is not going to do anything whatsoever. And it's going to send them actually packing all the way back now, returning towards the other side of the map. Glaive, he's going to have some action here.
Oh, and it's the SMG as well. Zip may steal a few from him. Got about 7 bullets. Might consider a reload. Config pulls out the nade at the opportune moment, and it is going to be a massacre. 3 for Config on that, and Zip takes the pair.
That's perfect. If you are going up against a full eco exactly like that, you want to make sure that you're destroying them, not dropping a body, not having to reinvest. Now, they can operate with these 2 SMGs on Config and Glaive. They can go for some water control. Maybe they want to push in towards Connector. The options are plentiful here to operate against Spirit's first buy, and it will be without the AWP in the hands of Degster. Not going to opt to go for the Scout here, so it's going to be 4 AK-47s and Chopper into a Galil. The Util is there to operate with these executes, and Config lobbing out an early monster smoke there as per tradition.
Siren does get across. The extinguish implies presence playground. Magic's, oh wow, he's brave. Smoke, flashes, and low HP. He will surely go down. Magic's lives on for a moment longer. Nade evade, and he's back, at least alive and kicking.
Yeah, well, both teams dissuaded from holding on to that territory. So in the dark now, information-wise, but that one plays out a little bit better for Astralis here. No pressure will be coming through the short position for some time. And because of that, Chopper going around the world now to group with his pack towards A. Siren and Dexter now met by the in-game leader as they crawl and take some territory back towards Fountain. Molly, flash, combo, and aggression. So this is now secured. The information game going back and forth, but now in the palm of Astralis' hands. They know that unlikely for this to be a B play anytime soon.
Yeah, nice to see Patsy. He's already managed to kind of divide and, I would say, conquer. A smoke in his face will shave time off of that progression.
They still have 2 smokes, a couple of flashes left over right now. Well, they did have 2 smokes.
God, Astralis have really got their finger on the pulse. The only, perhaps, deviation from that could be Chopper if he shows contact and takes Zip out.
That bloody train, Alex.
Oh, the train actually does obstruct. The Molotov does not stop Chopper with an
They're
opener.
all rotating.
Don't speak too soon. Bomb was Fountain, so it is just Farley at this point in time. Config has gone to go and support. A missed Molotov was all it took. Now starting to work it out, and Farley has taken down the first. The whole squad's here, and with 10 seconds, Spirit, fine margins here. Bombs down, surely the round as well. Farley making it look easy as he defends the site. Dexter gives a good go, but he is up the creek without the paddle, and will just hold on to that AK.
Easiest clutch of Zipex's life right there. Just staying alive, gets himself the 1vX over Dexter, but got a little bit dicey for a moment or two. That 1 kill drew a full rotation. Fortunately, Farley with some good form. Second highest rated player for Astralis so far in the event, just behind Blame. Well, not just behind Blame, behind Blame.
Yeah. The Farley stat was crazy as well. Have you ever seen that before? 100% success.
On the CT side,
His CT openings, he has not lost an opening duel, and he's taken 31% of them.
Yeah, which is very curious. And you add that to the amount that Blame takes as well. The 2 of them are the ones involved in a lot of these opening exchanges. That's crazy when you have somebody like Config in the team.
Yeah, well, he can't. Oh, where did Chopper's health just go? Already, Magic's is. Second guessing it, but Chopper's should push through, and Blame will greet him with hot lead. 3 remaining for Spirit's Armored Tech 9s. Get over-invested for Dexter, of course, with a saved AK, 350 he's got to boast, and he hasn't got any teammates to facilitate. Surely he could get a frag out of this. Put Blame on his bottom, not to be. Astralis, they are looking fierce in our opening.
Yeah, great stuff here, but well, now because of that Dexter save, might be a moment or two, and unless there's a drop that can come on through to get that AWP in his hands, right? The Dusk was talking about it, bringing up the conversation about Dexter on the T side and openings. Well, that is really going to be facilitated on a map like Overpass with the AWP. It's his primary weapon. It's the weapon he's most well known for, but he will have to wait out another gun round or 2 before he can even purchase that, because there's not even one to scavenge. Astralis don't need it just yet. Double incendiaries every time. That will stall out this early play towards A. The extinguishing again, and finally up over. And a bit of an off angle there.
Okay, well.
A bit more direct this time from Spirit. 4 of them already here.
Farley is going to fall away. Doesn't have the support of Blame as it currently stands. So a lot resting on his shoulders here. It's his restraint. And it's his responsibility. He's got long. He has to check that with cursory glance now, which is the gap as Patsy progresses. Gosh, he will have the shadow if they opt for the main toilet entrance. It's Patsy. Has impressed. Certainly on some of his CT maneuvers, and that is Farley completely
Just
completely
past him.
misses 2 of them. So there's 0 info for Astralis. He will have to say it. Oh, never mind. There's some steps, there's some pins, and now Blame looks to activate. Coming up from the stairs, Farley spots out one. Dexter's back is turned, and that should be his frag every day of the week. Farley trifling with trouble, multiple targets, multiple avenues, and nicely handled onto the first. Magic's long, and he's known, but the bomb now down. 3 from Bankside. Farley behind enemy lines. He has the support of Blame. Is he going long? Yeah, Blame's going to flank the 2 long. Nice clear. They will not be expecting another. Can they round the corner in time?
Didn't see it.
Wow, this is getting crazy. Just swings and roundabouts. Still util to be dropped,
Big
but
kill.
nice clear from Glaive. What does that leave them with? Long, big fight. Siren does need to get that, and now already low. Magix has yet to frag. 3 Danes chasing him down, foaming at the mouth. Magix to try and cage them. He has to knock them off the bomb, and it's only the 1. It looked promising for a second. Astralis 5.
Well handled there, but very dicey. How many players did Spirit send out just to find Farley? Multiple members coming back from long to try and take that kill. And massive work from Farley there. Got the opening, converted the round.
Hey,
Beautiful
point.
stuff. Be keeping tabs on this throughout the day here. And
There is a... Sorry to talk over
No,
you.
no worries.
There is a balance, isn't there, between, like, he lets them go, and he's probably acknowledging it's possible, but it's the fact that he let them go that leads to him being such a nuisance in the mid-round.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things with overpass. You think that you just kind of have to stop them at the wall, but no, it's about understanding as part of your defense where they can get through with what timings and then using that against them. But this is Blame. Hyper-aggressive, had a look, didn't see a lot. Flash again, still called clear.
Lots of early T utility. That's 2 of their 5 smokes already deployed.
Still no AWP here on the T side for Spirit.
Yeah. Product of that saved AK, perhaps. Patsy down and out. Blame has got connector on lock, and if you can count on Blame to keep control of the connector of this map, it's really going to limit Spirit's options. Look how quick Siren is.
Well, with the timing right now, they have to know this is a possibility, right? A minute 13, more than possible at this point. So they have to be aware. They have to glance on over at some point. But
Farley
right now, it's not
isn't.
being accounted for.
Oh, Farley. Dead. Deleted by Siren, and he is looking elite. Config has to rotate through. This is a duel. Config down and out. Siren has got the sight. You can see his eyes light up wide. Zip confirms monsters clear, and the bomb will go down on A. What do you do with this one, Astralis? You've already 5 rounds to the good.
Very disconnected, and it doesn't look like they're starting
Yeah.
to get a move on for this. Glaive clearing out towards B. Blame. This late lurk, if he could find Dexter, if he could take this pick, and Dexter's going to hear some footsteps now for sure.
Yeah, but they are so far away heading to T-spawn. I guess it's just for damage now, and Blame not ready for that. Well read. Dexter will post his 3rd frag, and Spirit will post their 1st round.
Getting it done without the AWP, right? I thought that that might be a big problem. We have spoken about this before with teams like Outsiders when they go for a lot of these saves early and then it takes a while to get James the AWP and get the full buys out. But here for Spirit, getting it done with the 5 rifles. Chopper has an AWP in his hands right now.
Yeah, and I was impressed as well to see that, it's unlikely in many people's mind that it's going to be the AWPer that has the highest T rating for Spirit. Playing it by the book, and by they, of course, referring to the Danes, just taking that early info when it's free, and they've got it, so, of course, does set Magix into somewhat of a slow crawl B.
Different setup immediately here, though. 3 towards A from Astralis now, and as you mentioned, yeah, they're turning their attention towards B right now. So Spirit have actually called Astralis into a position where they are on the heading towards the weaker bomb site.
Yeah, this is perfect. If you can
Avoid
pull this
the train.
off, avoid the train this time. Nose flash. Heaven smoke. Look how blind he is. A reaction strong. And it does seem like they're cancelling it. Was it really as simple as the flames?
A bit of utility just gets on out and it stalls them out completely here. But a double pump possible. They have the util. Oh, they're lacking the smoke to do this again.
It's pulled config back. The heaven smoke was thrown and now they're coming in with a second pump. Interesting. Zip. It's a powerful angle. Turns the flash easy. The second he eats it up. Oh, and they keep coming. Isolating, but config the only one with vision. It's good for 2. Nice on the AK from up down. Glaive and Zip are low in the sight, and that shadow should be the end of Zip. Hunted down and still stands his ground. Nice shutdown from Magix.
But look at this from Glaive. During all of this, he's pushed past. He's made it towards Monster. He's
If he
behind
can
them and they
just
don't
survive,
know. They
if
have
he
no
can
idea where he
just
is.
survive, Magix is just a sitting duck. To be plucked. Dexter, though. Wow, look at the restraint out of Blame. Magix is dead, man. And that should make Dexter's round almost impossible. Time alone, his worst enemy. He's going to lose the AWP. He doesn't even get to fire a bullet of it, Chad. Horrible scenes for Spirit, and immediately slapped back down into submission.
Yeah, great work from Config right there, because he rotates over and then it's silent, so he's doubting that rotation, still gets 2 kills from the heavens there, and Glaive, sure, it looks like he's kind of selling Zipex out in that entire situation. He's securing the round. Right, that position that he pushed on into right there, whoa, that first one there, see you later, Patsy, and the second was beautiful too.
But and this is all a product of this double pump. I don't know, you know, it's 1.5, not necessarily a full double, but the smoke fades. Config's had all of the bells and whistles to rotate, and he's got a nice shooting gallery onto 2. It seems a bit mismanaged.
Yeah, I think lacking that utility, not being able to commit because of the counter utility, and now into, well, a lighter upgrade for Chopper, a Galil for Magix, and an AWP again back towards B. Some early flak damage done. They do have some space, and Glaive ready to take a fight.
Talking a lot here, and his suspicions are at least acknowledged. So they're pushing through this. Look at Magix. Wow, that's fast. 90 seconds, and they're already going down. 2 bodies drop on the site. It's only Config. Can he do it again? He did manage to find 2 on the defense. Siren to clear. Or maybe they'll assume it is clear. You hear one towards short. Magix is tucked watching heaven. Chopper staring at the potential on ABC. This was a 3v5. Do Astralis really have the means? Nice engagement onto Patsy, but he doesn't take too much of a beating. Farley, fully invested, not too interested, I would imagine.
Trying to get him out here. I think Farley has a smoke to try and deploy to get Config out. They are going to save.
Go!
Ooh. Yeah, okay, a little bit of damage done, but they will get him on out alive, so keeping Config with a weapon up. That's going to be the AWP and M4 and an AK carried on through. The buy possible now. Blame can drop. Farley can do exactly the same, and they're going to be looking good for another gun round here, but Spirit with a bit more quickness to their play.
You know, it's such a big win to not only be able to throw a pacey play straight after a harrowing round loss, but to win it so convincingly. It is going to keep Astralis' defenders paranoid that that can work. That is a possibility, and that util won't be so restrained in dropping.
Yeah, so now it would be a question if Astralis want to change things up by playing heavier in connector to get that crossfire going on between shore and connector. It gives the T's a couple more things to worry about, but doesn't look like they're going back towards that B play immediately. More into a default spread, a couple of quick flashes out to deny Farley vision. He will take a pot shot. That is going to confirm his location, and Dexter one back through is helping piece the puzzle together for both teams. Door blown off. Farley now posted up long and might have a duel against 2. Or misses, has to drop off and pops a bit of a dink on the way down. Must have been through the wall right there, only to 76 points of health.
No, it was the bulletproof petunias.
Ah, I see.
You've got to watch out for them. There's a couple of them on the map.
Special type of fertilizer.
Yeah. Let's see what Config's off angle's got for him. It should be an easy tap. Oh, it's a lovely play from Config. He is already looking on his A game today.
Oh, coming through for another here.
He just wants to fight. Anybody willing to put themselves in a duel with him, he will greet them with a smile and a spray. Smoke down from Astralis. How many more have we got them? 2, Farley and Blame, typically your A players.
Seems right now that Spirit are trying to pull them around, right? Make sure that Astralis are constantly rotating, because they've just put pressure on A, pushed the AWP back, and then tried to slink through Monster to find a kill. Now, they were denied that space, but trading back into 1-for-1, 4-on-4, 35 seconds, and heading towards A, where there's a bit of a stack right now from Astralis. Do they stick to the guns, or do they drop on back?
No one's going to force him to. No one's going to give him presence onto Blame's position. They can count on him, and so Glaive, he is calling a great game here. The rotates, they've been on the money. 20 seconds, I'd be nervous. Patsy isn't. Breaks in. Siren from long still, and Farley knows there was a presence there, hanging out on Optimus. 3 bodies cross into the site. He should be able to deny into the bottom of Chopper. Patsy, however, should enable a plant. Just in the nick of time.
Blame flank.
Yeah, the 2 of them. The unstoppable force, the immovable object, and now just the 1. Blame the boulder, 11-3. Looking to go 1v3. Patsy and Dexter remaining, and okay, now the 1v1, it gets scary. He's got smoke kit, doesn't expect toilets, considers Optimus. He's so focused on truck, but Dexter's not having any info during all of this. Time will become a priority. Hasn't dropped the smoke. So convinced. A bit of a misread here from Blame. Can he recover? I don't know if there's time now. He really doesn't have a clue. Looking the wrong way, and nice close from Dexter to keep Spirit in it.
Must have been a miscomm there.
Maybe.
The fact that he's so glued to that position, I'm not sure what piece of information we missed throughout all the flurry, because we were chopping and changing through all of that fire, and I suppose there must have been some info going the wrong way right there. So this is it. Glaive gets spotted on up on the push on through. Patsy up and over. Patsy takes down Config, and I'm not sure why it was so glued on in of the Dexter
Did
towards
Patsy
Struck.
pick up an open fire shot? You just saw
That
him pick
could
it
have
up.
been it. Yeah, that could have been the devil in the detail right there.
Ugh.
Well, either way, Spirit
Yes.
have done a great job. They've humbled Astralis right now, put them down towards just a couple of pistols, and when I say a couple, a Deagle and a Scout. It's a pretty long pistol in Config's hand, I imagine.
Pretty expensive too. So they just want to go before any stacks can occur. Of course, there could be one off the call, off the break, but it does seem like they've got their intentions ironed out. Drop some mollies. Like a Saturday night, and ooh, Glaive. Oh no, 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 Spirit. Spirit cannot lose this round. Saved by the Glock. It's Dexter to finish him off, but damn threatening and imposing presence with nothing more than the starter pistol.
May as well try and do a bit more damage here if you're Astralis. You've got this Deagle. Maybe try and boost Blame up, boost Config up with the Scout, one of the two.
Yeah, that's the play, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, see if you can find a fight or just swing with the USP, but no, he's going to be a kill onto Dexter. 2v3 situation.
Oh!
Another one from Config.
What was that? The Dane does it, and Blame finishes. Astralis will take it with a single Scout. A Desert Eagle. That is a disaster for the Spirit. Oh, they were just jostled for control. A 1v1 goes their way, and then they fumble.
Glaive gets two there with the USB on the way in. It looked perfect, didn't it? They're not even considering that position whatsoever. So glued towards Monster. You feel like Dex has done enough. They have the sight, and then this happens.
Second shot
what a
is
shot
a
this one was.
screamer.
Bang!
Okay. Okay, Astralis come to play. Spirit, they might want to take a timeout. That's going to be under your skin.
That would have been a great opportunity right now to really lay down a couple of extra T rounds. It would have been a fourth guaranteed, and we know how hard T rounds in this current meta are to come by, so that one could come back to haunt them here.
Yeah. Bit of a... Can't call it an unforced area. It does take some good clicks out of the Astralis boys. Patsy whittled away through the board. Oh my god, not even whittled away out. He's been carved into 13 HP. And Glaive's got more where that came from. This util will force this boost off. Guys, extinguish. Dexter, however, worth noting, has found an opening into the site. Barrel's still a threat, and he has to pull the plug on that. Magic's, however, built onto it. It's Blame from the underpass, finally silenced by Magic, kept to just the one. Spirit completely undaunted by the fumble in the previous.
Well, they know that Farley and Blame are dead, and they're traditionally the A holders, so they're trying to turn tail. But is it a fake right now? They're sending the feeler of Config forward. He could catch them all off guard here.
Oh, they're not staring at it. Nice work from Siren. Addresses the issue, and Magix will confirm where that last lingers. You might hear him there. Glaive long, they say.
Yeah, lots of talking right now from Magix here, so 100% confirmed. It might even get the kill too. On the flank, Glaive's already made it halfway around the world.
Having a picnic, talking that one out. Hello?
4x3.
Yeah. You actually got 4x3.
Well, wouldn't be the first time.
What is it, 70 or 80% of the pros are playing 4x3 still?
Yeah, look, I want to have a conversation about it, but apparently this is what the best players in the world do, other than Rops and Kinder, and Chopper gets the kill. So there you have it. It will be the fourth. It wasn't against the Eco. They get it done the hard way against the gun round right there. And if I do believe we've been calculating our numbers correctly, that is the first time Farley has died as an opening kill on the CT side over 3.5 maps.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah, good catch. Good catch. Chad is switched on, folks. Yeah, the 4x3 thing, I mean, I think that should be, you know, screw Twitter. That should be, we should call it getting ratioed.
Yeah, actually.
You got ratioed hard, bro.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm with you. We can use the cool lingo of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That comment is definitely not mid, Alex.
It will upset people so hard. Like, no one asked, get ratioed. Glaive, change to 16/9.
Yeah, take the L.
Yeah, take the L.
Are we doing it right, guys? Let us know. I'm trying to keep up with it. Over there on the B stream, IHC taking on Imperial. I do believe the first map of play is Mirage, IHC's choice. Second map, they will be moving into an Overpass and Inferno as the third if they do need it. That's the Mongolian side taking on the Brazilian Hopes and Dreams. However, Furia, I think maybe they should take that mantle. They're already in the Legend stage, and they look amazing. Love me some Furia action. But look at this, back down towards the Pistols once more. Blame with an M4. Now, we can't count them out of a round like this. We've already seen it go in their favor. At least, for Spirit, they're heading towards A this time round.
You can see this death pack. Slightly delayed, 2 prongs to this assault. You're holding that potential long flank. You don't want anyone arriving in party as you set up your nades in toilet, and they will just converge onto what is currently a 3-man stacked site. Smokes are in the air, information relayed, deep smoke. Here. And the M4 has made it to long. So Astralis, again, consistently in the right place. It's a question of putting your crosshair there as well. Farley could be another opening CT death here. And he is back-to-back Farley stats. Taking a beating, as is Astralis. Looks good for the 5th here. Spirit really have recovered this T-half. And that's going to be starting to feel good. You can shake it off, in the words of Taylor Swift. And come in with a solid haul. 5's great, 6 sounds better. Astralis, this time, not so potent with the pistols.
Okay, well, now they're going to be getting things back together with a buy coming on through. A Famous for Zip and an MP9 for Glaive, so it's not the best of buys, but it's the best they can bolster right here, right now, and this is before the half gets too out of control. Trying to limit Spirit to 5 in total here. Astralis would love to get the double digits. Blame up, over, takes a peek, the extinguisher's there, and U2 coming over the top. He has a good idea about the slide jump. Spotted.
And that's another Dexter death. Has not been able to have too much impact with that AWP. Meets these M4s, and Chopper already caught through the boards. It's Patsy that's the next victim, and backs are turned. They haven't seen a single one of their opponents so far, and this round's already done. It's an early one. 3 kills to Astralis in the opening 30 seconds.
Just not accounting for that level of aggression right there. You could see it was a bit more focused from Dexter. He didn't expect the player to have jumped up and pushed towards that position immediately.
But they've been doing it so consistently. I mean, I know they haven't had that information. They haven't had those engagements. But from our perspective, it's impressive that Astralis just are so unwilling. You know, sometimes it is Farley in toilets just being a bit of a canary. But majority of the time, when Blame is over there, he's happy to take a push.
If you chop it right now for the last remaining 2 Magics and Siren, the goal would be damage. Get as many kills as you can right here, because the economy is still quite fragile for Astralis. Remember, MP9 for Glaive and a Famous for Zip. If you could take a gun or 2 away right here, it's going to limit what the purchases are into the next. AWP has been scooped on up. There is enough money to buy right now for Spirit going into the next round of play here. So if they're thinking very, very late game, which I suppose we're already at, might just want to hold on to what they have, but I would love to see them get a little bit more pep in the step for a kill or 2.
Yeah, you got 3 rounds to play out. Is it really just going to be a game of musical statues? Was that what we played in the parties?
Yeah, well, there's no music playing right now.
No, maybe a really small violin.
Well, Glaive's coming on over, wants to see what he can scoop.
You know, an AK does sound better than an MP9.
Yeah, and a Famous. So both of them are going to get upgrades here. There'll be no damage done. Now established a very strong buy, and everybody staying alive means Astralis have residual cash if they do lose this next round to play. Spirit not going to have any dramas with those purchases on in, and there's only 2 more rounds to play on out here. So I think just playing for the last in case they do lose this one with that save.
I mean, it's just a quiet 16 out of Blame here. We were talking about him being high rated and the highest rated on CT's side so far, 3 maps deep, and he's got 16 and 6, Chad. He has the only one to have broken double digits. He's got the same score as 2 of his teammates combined, if not more. Extinguish Herd. That was the deep playground molly, and they've been very, very punished for these underpass fights. You've got bangs through the boards, and Blame is a problem. If he does want to fight, though, I wouldn't want to trifle with Dexter and Patsy. They don't want to trifle with Blame F. 3 leading monster side. They look to be regrouping early, and they've had successes hitting this site as a unit. But you can see the setup from Astralis. It's like Blame wouldn't take much.
He's going to be here immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's going to be 4 of them to defend this site, right? The execute is being lined on up. The one removed from the pack is config over towards long. The Farley's AWP is here. They can lock this one down. Here they come.
This is going to be a very quick round. Breaking through, kicking open the door. Magic's onto Farley. Zipex flustered. Magic's trying to be the pointy end of this spear. He's got short to deal with. Zip hiding out on the barrels. On Molotov just yet. Chopper considering it. It's glaive to try and take that monster fight.
They're out of nades. They can't reinitiate. Spirit want to take aim jewels on the fade.
That's a nice angle found by glaive. Does miss his chance. Zip doesn't. Molotov down, and it's 3 in the feed from Astralis. Blaine contributes. Patience does prevail, but still 40 seconds. Both here. Util dumped. It's Dexter. Orp up close. He can do some of his best work in these scenarios. He knows Blaine was sandbags. This should favor Dexter. But Blaine's too good. Another 4. His frags 19 now as he racks them up. And damn, Astralis completely lock out Spirit.
Beautiful. It's up to 9. Can get that double digits. 10 is possible here. But Spirit there, the fact that they just stalled it on out, as I mentioned, they were just looking for aim jewels on the fade. The only piece of utility that I believe they had left after that execute came on through was a Molotov. So there wasn't like a let's wait, let's push into the canal, flash, and then retake these fights. It was, what can we do? We just kind of have to sit. We have to wait, and unable to initiate anything actively into the site. Config's been able to rotate on over, and they lock them out. Plenty of cash for the buy here for Spirit's last round of play on their first half of their map choice. They'd love to get 6 here.
Blaine back into his cave.
This is a bit quicker.
There is pace. Patsy's really sick of this spam, really starting to have a bad day in the office, finally. Or at least it is the final round of it. Setting this boost up, there must be a contingency for it. Not currently actually established. You can see Zip forward on Monster, glaive towards short.
Blame again.
He's lost Patsy again. This is Blame so stubborn in his hold. He will go down even for a 4v4. Config's running out of bullets, Chad. He's only got 30 left.
Well, he only needs 4. So,
okay, I see. Zip? It's a common clear. Just needs to try and take one of the 2. Does soften him up for the nades. And glaive, lives on. Should be hunted down now. Holding firm on the site. It's Magic's a nice find. Double onto the site defense. And so Spirit looking to close with a 6th. It's just Farley that can flip the script. 5-7 and an AWP. His weapons of choice. Dexter's posted and Farley flicks. Scary now. Don't forget Siren's low. He could be susceptible to a wallbang. Farley crawling now. Siren, do you really want to take that risk? Get the info and snaps onto the another. Farley looking to come up clutch. He knows where Magic's is. Both low. Farley looking to do something rather special for Astralis, and he will with a 1v3 coming up clutch to close, and that is another nasty one for Spirit to stomach.
Dangerous indeed. That's 2 massive rounds right there on the B retakes. One was a bloody eco with a scout, but this one here from Farley, the last round of the half, beautiful stuff. And you can see there the conversation was, Siren, take contact as soon as Magic shoots. And he does exactly as he's told, doesn't realize it's on the jump, gets himself in the open, gets himself taken down and isolating that fight. Beautiful work from Farley right there. That's the type of round you want to see from your AWPer to close.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, especially when you're in, you're in a team with royalty here. That's how you earn their respect, Chad. You win rounds like this at the major. Beautifully played from the AWPer, newest edition, and certainly paying his dues, looking good. You can see GG bet favors Astralis, and I don't think there's much of a surprise as to why.
Yeah, Blame, like, not only were we talking about him being the highest rated CT player in the tournament, I guess CT meta, so that's a huge thing to have. He is the highest rated player in the tournament. So he's doing wonders for his stat lines right here. And the way that he's playing, he's been involved in, I think, 3 opening fights. He's been aggressive up towards Fountain. He's been pushing towards Connector, but pushing towards A. And Dexter gets 1. The trade, it's there. Farley will get 1 for 1.
They're across. Patsy will try and lock them in there. And Farley actually continuing to go walkabouts. Heaven smoke. Farley late to arrive. The rest already into the site. This is a big duel. Patsy is distracted. And wow, Magic's at least does shut Farley down quick. He is going to... nice supportive flash. And so the pistol is all onto Blame. Can he clutch as well? Inspired by that of Farley, a USP sounds better than the Glock. He will get out of trouble initially. But the bomb is on the site, so he's got 60 seconds to think this one through. He's happy to biff. He's happy to brawl. And there's more clicks to be had. He gets the info. If you're Spirit, you are flustered now, aren't you? Just a little bit. The ghost of Blame floats ethereally into the site, and he hasn't got anyone in his sights. Bomb's still there, and in 30 seconds rotten off the clock, another 30 to play. Worried about pushes for info. They are starting to group up and clear.
Swinging.
Yeah. Oh, and just as he pulls out the butterfly, that should be the end of that. Spirit take the must-win pistol.
I think it started to get sweaty as well because he was there. It was missing for so long. It's like, has he actually gone around the world? Like, is Blame really going for this type of a play here to come behind us at any given moment? So pushing, taking the fight, finding him out, securing the pistol, grabbing the 6th, and a nice one there from Spirit. I was really impressed by that kill from Farley right there as he came out of door. The fact that he gets one in the immediate trade, really nice work from both teams in that regard. But once they got caught in the crossfire between sandbags and the push out from CT spawn, that's when it was all over Red Rover. And, well, similar scenes as to how the first half unfolded. Astralis will be taking a practical full save here. The P250 in Blame's hand is the best they have to boast in the buy department. Chopper about to jump and get a bit of an eyeful. 2 spotted.
Just seeing him desperately think, the only nade he had was the incendiary. Doesn't quite fit the bill. Patsy shouldn't have too many issues as he does take down Glaive. Pops him like the balloons at the party. Zip. His next victim.
One of the key differences in this round from what we saw Astralis do in their first half, I think they had 3 M4s and 2 MP9s. This is 2 Famises, an M4 and 2 MP9s. So now when the AKs come out, you're going to be favoring it. Never mind. They've sorted that out, haven't they? They fixed that little problem they might have been having. Dexter into an AWP immediately here. So that's the difference maker right here, right now. And the stats that the desk pointed out at the start was, sure, Blame's the highest rated CT player, but then you have Patsy, you have Dexter, and you have Magix all in the top 10 as well. So these are 3 strong performers on the CT side of the tournament thus far. On Dust 2, mind you. Let's see how they go on Overpass.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Spirit on a map that's not Dust 2.
It's not orange.
Yeah,
this is unusual.
It's a bit colder over here as well.
Yeah. Oh, very standard stuff for Astralis out the gates here. Was a default spread without connector presence. They have a pack, a wolf pack of 4. Cleaning up the playground. Making a wish at the fountain and dropping a smoke towards the front bathrooms. Long control to be established, and Dex's AWP posted up towards Party. The contact from Long will be identified by Chopper. He's playing passively right now over towards Bank, just jump spotting. All he's here for is info. And uses utility right now to stall them out on the push, and actually he's backing on off, so the gap left wide open. Nobody will be able to determine when that Long presence is coming. It is a gamble stack towards B right here. Just Dexter alone right now.
Yeah, a bit of an island for him, and they're about to execute Longside. Chopper's going to be scarpering over to provide assistance. Dexter, though, he's really forward of all of this. He knows Blame could be hiding in those toilets. Patsy to provide support just as Blame looks away. It's a real close one, kept level. 2 members of the Danish roster remain. Farley is the next victim of Chopper's SMG. Careful, Glaive's in the server and makes it clear. With 20 seconds, he has to find Chopper. Knows Patsy's coming from behind. He has had a chance onto that first fight. But that Spirit really putting their teeth into this defensive half. They have converted and they force Astralis down again. You can see 3.5 high end. This gap will become just the 1 round as long as we don't see a fumble out of Spirit. They've had a couple. They've recovered on their own volition, but this is where you do have to knuckle down.
Putting a lot of faith in Dexter there to make sure that he doesn't just go on down, because if he gets obliterated in that situation, it might be a completely different looking round. So great stuff for Dexter to get 1. Hold them at the line, allow that rotation to come in, allow Patsy to chime on in and have a bit of a push to make this one possible. So flashes up and over to allow Patsy to peek, and he will do exactly that. That Deagle spotted by confirmed on the other side. Team flash sure, but not going to be the end of the world. This Config creeping through. Would love to find the dome here of Siren. He is ahead of the smoke.
Config is no slouch. Want to be feared and already connecting bullets. It's Glaive's Deag as well that fills the feed from Long. What was their 4v5 win percentage?
Not great.
Not against Deags though, right? Not against Deags. Chomper, long range, AK in play. It's the perfect weapon for the job. He is concerned about the site. They have left him alone to deal with all of this. And the fights will keep coming his way. The Eagles, a P250, certainly not terrible. Finally to draw the crosshair out, and Chopper's handled business here. Closes up shop. Just Config and Zip. Recovered M4 is nice. The bomb on his back and spotting out not only the bomb, but Config himself.
I want to go down here, boys. You do need this loss bonus right here, right now. I know they're looking for damage, but the longer they stall out the clock, if Spirit want, they can just relinquish this control, get back into the site, and force Astralis to come to them. M4 could be retained. But is that really what you're looking to happen next on Config? He goes down. Siren obliterates him, and now it just is Zip. 10 seconds left. The round is done. The round is dusted. And he won't even get a kill onto Degster right there. So removed and massive. Today's about bucking trends for both of these teams, apparently. Farley with that 100% on the CT side success rate. That's gone. We can wipe that slate clean. And now Spirit, well, the 4v5, 0% on the CT side. They're starting to make that look a little bit nicer too. So I'm sure that will be a nice little bump up.
Yeah, I mean, let's start with the, beginner level, then intermediate.
Yeah.
Then we get into intermediate.
Step at a time. Well, here we go. Astralis is full buy now. Everything they'd want for a standard round of play here. Farley's AWP is up to 1 round game right now, and Degster, a chance. Shot just whistles by, letting him know he's going to be around to be pesky at A this time round. An extra flash or two, a run boost. None of this complexity, dry walk out long into James shenanigans. They're going to have to use some util to deal with his position right now.
The flowchart starts taking its steps, a run boost long, a flash as well. Wow, look at these procedures that stop the AWPer from viably shutting down the one-man long push.
Everybody's learning today, I think.
Whoa, hang on, what are you up to, Dexter? You got the whole squad coming your way. I think he realizes his shortcomings. He will have to tuck around just in time. Never mind, the bomb's been put on a platter for him. Ooh. Expect a boost, a quick flick out of Dexter. Perhaps Farley can peek off of Config's bait. That's enough of him. The flash is enough to deter, and he will just concede long. Instead, you focus on Chopper's position, hold toilets, push forward, and have your bank players provide some assistance. Sirens arrived to do just that. Util dumped. We've got about 40 seconds, Chad. The bomb committed to this long.
Push.
Oh, Zip is responsible for it and confirms that the presence is coming. They're in the hurt locker, and from every angle, there is CT. Look at this map. They are in the box.
You can have long. That's fine, guys. Good luck.
It's all yours. It's all yours. Can they really dig themselves out of this one? Farley gets the info. Happy survival would have been nice, but Config catches one twice through his teammate. Farley takes down Patsy, but that's the end of that.
That's just to get on out. They had to sacrifice Config to the gods just so they could hold on to this AWP.
Yeah, they led him up the stairs, laid him down, just asked him to take a nap.
Oh, well, Magis is coming here. I'm not sure he's going to get there in time. 3, 2, 1, and the round will have transpired here, so they've got 5 more seconds to make a move on, but looking likely that Farley holds on to that AWP. And fortunately, considering how that one unfolded, but maybe getting a little bit ahead of himself with that push from Glaive, right? So far with the bomb, understanding he wants to run down against the space that Dexter continues to re-peak to apply pressure on that AWPer, but dropping the bomb, it allowed that push of Patsy that was perfectly highlighted by our ops team. That was coming on through, so no matter what was going on as far as these fights, if they didn't get the kills quick, there was no way they were getting out of this alive, and
that's tough.
Config knows how that feels.
Is it possible, even at this level of competition, that you don't quite process you have the bomb? Glaive, he's a thinking man. He's not probably chasing an AWPer with the bomb on his back.
As crazy as it sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because it might have got dropped to you as you're in the pack or whatever, and you're busy calling, and you just didn't identify that little detail.
But does completely tie us up here, and with the door naded off, this sandbag's position works twofold.
It gives them that sightline interconnector there, and they are going to be worried as they round the corner and connect it off sandbag, off sewer, and up the stairs. They are allowing Farley's AWP here to work.
Who's responsible for Monsterland? The conversation's had. It's Siren. Oh, good timing, but repelled. Nice support. Drop of the incendiary. It's the AWP, and Dexter shuts down Farley. He's got more on the plate, and down goes Zip. No resistance at all. Magic does adjust into that secondary angle. And this could be Spirit taking the lead of our first map. Their map pick, no less. Overpass pulled down. It seems they're not just a one-trick pony. Dust 2 works, so does Overpass.
So I think our 6th round of play here on this CT half of Spirit, and Dexter's found the opening kill in 4 of them. The pistol rounds, and then 3 rounds with the AWP so far. So finding a lot of traction here for Team Spirit on this CT side.
Well, Blame, 21 and 11.
This is the thing, right? We've been talking about his CT prowess, and he did his job. He did what he needed to do on the CT side. This is where Config is the tit to that tat. Right? He's the individual who needs to step on up and find them some openings. I think Farley is spotted, Damage done. Bomb would love to get it down and will be allowed to plant. So great stuff from Blame here. Glaive's going to be happy with that one. Going to give them some cash to work with into the next round of play.
A nice injection, 800 bucks extra for getting it down.
Blame 1 on 5. This would be something.
He's got the Empress. Let's see if he can impress. Spirit caged. Staring at long, multiple peaks, info gained. Turns the flash, ready to spray. My God, did you see the damage? There's a different universe somewhere where Blame has just flipped that table and flipped Spirit's hopes and dreams. My God, okay.
If that one went wrong, I would have had to question a lot about my life because there were smokes, there was flashes, there was 5 players
and
alive.
And they all just swing.
And then they still thought there was a little bit of a chance right there as they take that fight onto the big man himself. A sip of water, a timeout taken, a conversation to be had. Trace, a legend of the 1.6 days, now coaching this Astralis roster. Another one, yeah, I know. For the Danes to have a bit of a chit-chat here and try and set this right, because 6 consecutive rounds right now on this CT Hall for Spirit. The trend needs to be bucked. Astralis only managed 5 out the gates before Spirit were able to pick up a T-sided round. That plant from Blame, it's worth its weight in gold. It should signify another buy. It's even allowed Farley to get out the AWP again. Now, they've done quite a few A-centric plays. Just there, they did try that limp on into B with an opening kill going against them again from Dexter's AWP. They want to avoid this all, right? Identify where it is and try and push a weakness on the other side of the map without giving up a kill to Dexter, who this time is going to be heading over towards A.
Yeah, thinks better of it. The utility implies a heavy presence, doesn't want to succumb to a quick config swing, and oh, they are coming. Dexter, wise to relocate. 2 up long. There's some real pep in the step here of config. You can see he's been given an objective, and it is to take space, ideally, with some dog tags as well.
Well, this is when you turn to config. He needs to find you something. They parked him towards long here as this B control is established by Spirit, and they're starting to push. So guess what? Here they come, Zip.
Yeah, he could be flashed off this. Interesting angle he's adopted, but as the smoke arrives, his attention is drawn, and Patsy needed the trade and provides it. We immediately level out.
But once it's Zip, you know it's the backyard B babysitter.
Right.
They know right now that that's a standard default round from Astralis.
But Glaive knows they know. So we know there might be a change up here. Patsy does throw a couple of cursory shots through on the fading smoke.
Look where the bomb is. That will need to be scooped up at some point here. It's left over towards Playground at this juncture. 40 seconds left on the clock, so still enough time to get it. They are turning their attention back to B. Config will be late lurking long. Farley cannot get caught out here by this aggression of Siren.
This bomb's getting a bit nervy now, lads. It's still Playground. Chopper confirms long presence in its config. V Chopper trying to keep feet planted. Farley immediately starting to scarper, but he's going to have to really pull up his socks and tighten his laces. 20 seconds. He's in T-spawn. Config shot. Oh, okay, does meet Siren, but there is something to be said. It's Blame. Once again, trying to play the game. Does go down to Dexter's orb, and Farley just doesn't have the time. He's only just arrived. That's going to be Spirit extending their lead, and still undefeated, Chad. Yet to see them bleed on this defense.
This info wars that's going on right now would have Alex Jones impressed. I cannot believe the level that's going on here with some of these plays, right? Chopper with that jump towards the bank position, catches that push coming up long. Siren continues forward, and all that info of knowing that you took down Zip, right? They've actually been able to play them like a fiddle right here. Yeah. This is looking fantastic. Dexter is here, there, and everywhere, right? He started on A, was taking those initial exchanges, and then these are the kills with 18 seconds left on the clock. He's able to pick up over towards B. So this is great stuff from Dexter. He is really alive on this CT half, and he's loving it. Big smile on the face.
You could just see, like, in their eyes, they're just so hyper-focused. Like, this is it. It's all to play for right now. You got 2 wins, 1 more, and you're playing with the big boys. You're playing them right now, to be fair.
Well, this is a change-up, right? They want to go for a B explode with this utility, just trying to establish this short control, and Patsy over towards Connector with the crossfire with Magics. They can shut them down right here, right now.
Yeah, Patsy will have a sight line. Oh, he knows. Perfect timing. Magics for the multi, sprays down 2, and Patsy for the slam dunk does get it down. It's only Farley. That safe Dorps to getting him nowhere. On to the funny bone. Patsy ain't laughing, though. 70 seconds, bomb loose. Aggressive. Flubs the flash, Chopper's posted. Farley's quick though, already a 1v3 under his belt of overpass, and it looks like Chopper could be isolated. Farley very quick on this trigger, doesn't hard clear. Chopper profits. It's getting a little scary. 13 for Spirit, still yet to drop around. Admittedly, they are getting enough to keep pumping the AKs and the rifles into play, but Astralis, what hasn't been tried?
Well, this is the thing, right? The T side of Overpass coming back to haunt them. I think we all remember that game against Heroic where Shush retook that A bomb site on the CT side, and then they really struggled to post those T-sided rounds. Right now, we're seeing more issues of that. I think pace might have to be the option here, something a bit more brute forcey, something where they need to enable an individual to take a risk, to take a gamble, but back towards A with 4 one more time. The flash is good. Patsy landed on up. One back on over from Dexter to enable another peek, but there is a lot of pressure just on the other side of that playground wall.
You can see Zip is just trying to use sound cues now to the best of his ability to keep those feet planted and extinguished. That will have them hesitant. Patsy.
It's just a default again, though, Alex. There's nothing different here. It's a default round again. One connector.
And Dexter always somewhere different. This time looking for his opening onto Glaive. Oops, bit of a fumble on the flash. Second, not required. And you can see Patsy's considering something. He knows he can hear. At least one descending. Magix will unload a mag to suppress that underpass presence.
They look like they feel like they're safe here as Stars, but they're anything but. They are anything but right now. Patsy's forward position, as you mentioned, hearing everything, but now he's gone. Huge kill from the in-game leader. They needed that.
Yeah, that's a great catch. And now the disadvantage. Oh, it gets worse. Zip unloads through the smoke. Astralis' first T round looms. The Spirit losing that opening more often than not historically here at the Major does translate.
Now they just need to regroup, trade efficiently. The only player that can stop them right now on this A bomb site is going to be Chopper towards Bank, and he needs to do a lot of work.
Yeah, he really does have to turn the tables here. It's going to be so hard. All of that nade and Unity. He's managed to just separate one from the pack. Config immediately there for the trade, and so site is lost and the round is won. I guess just a stubborn default is going to be enough to break through, and it's the pick from Glaive. Takes down Patsy, who did, as you discussed, have so much room. But it all comes tumbling down, and they do finally buck the trend. How many was that? Let's not forget, a 10-5 half, 10 CT rounds, and
8 in a row, right?
I swear Blame had 21 frags at the half.
Yeah, I think it was pretty damn close to that right here. And this is the thing, it's that nobody's really been able to find a lot of traction right here on the T side. We talk about Blame, we talk about his T side prowess. IHC winning the first map against Imperial.
Oh. Wow, dude, if they go to...
I think I was the only person who predicted IHC to beat Imperial in the little Twitter sphere that we have going on right now. I have to represent the region, Alex. I was going for Renegades, and now I'm going for IHC.
That surprises me. I'd say you watch one IHC game and you watch
you?
one Imperial game. I think that's actually a pretty fair cop.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
We were talking about Blame, CT side.
Yeah, no, I was just taking a look at to see how the scoreboard has differentiated from that first half, but it is really, I mean, the biggest takeaway, key takeaway, is that once you get Dexter, that big zoom banger, he's been able to have a very imposing presence onto this Danish T side. Let's see if they can strike twice. Zip trying to act like an army. Flashes monster, extinguish short, trying to keep those CTs guessing, pull some nades out of them. And it is a very heavy lean towards B from our CTs. Boosts, full underpass push, and it's just that Dexter Orb long. He must be on a timer, right? He has to start getting concerned about Banana once that util is dropped.
This is the thing. You can start 4B quite consistently here, Patsy. You have to be very careful about this. You have a teammate spamming your bullets through now as well. Jeez, gap in that smoke. So going to take a lick of damage right there, getting away. And, well, he does get away. To note, as far as these opening kills for Astralis have gone so far on their T side, they've managed 3. They've only been able to come up 1 round off of those. One was the Diga round with Glaive, where the rest of them just got minced. The other was the Zipex push, where the info play Spirit were able to outmaneuver Astralis this time round with 48 seconds on the clock. An opening kill still eludes Astralis here, and Dexter yet to move, hasn't had to move. The rotations come across, and he's worried about this. Wow, 6th sense or something going on for Dexter here.
Oh, Config looking for him. He faked the steps away, and Config bites on the hook. Line, and indeed, here comes the sinker. Poor Blame, next victim of Chopper. Mowed down, and we could have a spotless one here. Farley trying to hide in plain sight. It's not to be, and Spirit back to their winning ways. Smirks creep onto their face, 2 away from taking their map pick.
Dexter likes something he saw there, pointing at Chopper, big smile on their face, loving the conversation. I think it worked out perfectly, whatever the plan was. Doesn't go much better than that, denying the plant, putting Astralis in this position. Sure, the loss bonus is there to help facilitate some AK-47s and AWP possible as well if they want to get Farley into that.
Put yourself in Config's shoes as well. Like, you've been so desperate for openings. They're asking you to find them. You've got to toilets. You hear like a scope, or you just hear a dismount from the boost long, and you charge. You start, your eyes go wide, the pupils dilate. You strafe up a gorgeous strafe, and Dexter's hitting a quick scope right onto your face. The rest just falls apart.
We're in panic stations right now for Astralis. 1T round. This is very, very rough from them, right? The fact that they're not even getting into these sites to make these like 2v2s or clutch scenarios that they're losing at this juncture is a little bit of a problem here. You can see the bomb has only gone down a total of 2 times. Only a total of 2 times so far. There's been 2 timeout rounds where AWPs have been saved for Farley. Having a rough go of things mentioned. He hasn't been very impactful for the team on their T side. So no AWP. It looks like they're going to focus on utility. I'm surprised not to see them come up with a bit more of a pocket strat, some kind of nerdy execute towards B. They're just going to flash and push. This time Config coming again. And, well, Dexter seems to just greet him with a smile and a bullet every single time.
Onto Patsy. It's the opening that Astralis have been looking for. It's the opening that Config has been looking for. Let's see if Spirit can continue to buck the trend. My God, imagine if he went all the way through. The bomb has been left there. Magix could have the destabilizing presence had he had the initiative. Instead, looking to address the toilets. Instead,
they're coming through. This flash could be perfect.
Oh yeah, but Siren's unawares. Magix will check in, and there should be at least an adjustment. Blame on the toes. He still stands strong. Big frag to post to maintain that man advantage. It is Chopper and Dexter, though, and you can see that they did have some unity in the previous. They can go either way with this. You can see the CTs are scattered. Yeah, faked out completely.
Beautiful work right there from Blame. That was a really important kill. If he lost that frag, this round would have been done and dusted. Config's now going to walk on in, smoke over towards the drop down. Plant will be coming momentarily, and Dexter and Chopper now know that they're out of position. The question is, do they want to try and go for this 2v3 retake? There's plenty of cash left on over right now for Spirit. He's going to deny in the back, a shot to Chopper, a gimme. He'll confirm it, and Dexter looking to hold on to that AWP. The 2 rounds that Astralis have posted right now have come with opening deaths from Patsy. Don't want to point the fingers here, but that has been the condition of how Astralis have been able to convert. First it was Glaive taking down Patsy, now it was Config getting that kill.
True.
Doesn't matter how it comes, it needs to come. And Astralis, 2 rounds off the pace right now. It's a bit more of a divide and conquer approach there out of Astralis. Right, they were applying pressure over towards bathrooms, I think trying to keep and identify that AWPer, right? We spoke about this earlier. Identify where Dexter is and then look for an opening pick elsewhere, because Dexter's been very good. I think it was 6 rounds a player said that he had found 4 openings. I think he had found a couple more since then. You got the scores on the doors. Dexter at the top right now for Spirit on 21 and Blame on the other side with 25.
Yeah, I think it's also just highlighting how few frags they were finding in those losses as well. Lots of money in the bank for Team Spirit. 11 grand on Dexter. Let's see what this one entails. It's Patsy again, and he's not deterred. He just charges in, and again he falls first. Dexter is in knee-jerk reaction. Will shut it down immediately, but look what they were planning, and they still will.
They're going to go through. They
Straight
know they have to.
Siren, great incendiary, puts it down. Floor laden with flame. That will keep them at bay. Swinging out for the clear. Needed that. Needs more. It's Flame next victim. Siren repels the invaders. These invaders must die. It is, however, Farley and Glaive.
Look at this flank right now from Chopper around the world here.
Yeah, he will have them from behind.
Oh,
the barrel. Okay, it's fine on Dexter. Continues to lay down the law, and he will finish with 3. Very quick on that AWP.
15 now.
Whoa, okay, yeah. Zip and Glaive don't have the funds. It might not be idyllic for Astralis as they look to defend their honor. They have to string together 3 here. It's been a very dominant CT performance out of Spirit. We know that Overpass has actually been one of the more balanced in those round distributions, but not here, not today. It was a 10-5 half. We were sitting 10-2. Can Astralis match that haul that Spirit brought?
Again, back towards A, even through the flames. Config taking a massive lick of damage right there. Chipped on down to 60. He wants to try and get some space. He might run to the AWP, and he will. Config down to Dexter's AWP one more time.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's a rifle now for Glaive if he can, and Brave long. Spirit looking for their first taste of some revenge, Patsy. Shadow, and down goes Farley. A two-man advantage now. It seems like a certainty, and with every click, it gets closer and closer to reality. It is looking like Overpass pick was justified. Blame and Zip would be hard-pressed to do anything more with this.
Two individuals who you'd like to see alive in the clutch, but maybe not paired up with one another. Let's see if they can make this happen. 4 more to find. Back towards B is where they want to turn their affections. 2 players still residing right now. Util, just a nade and a molly. They're going to have to get it done with bullets here.
I wonder if Blame takes a little bit of charge here. Trundling in. Molly out. Siren and Magix will likely be calling for aid. They haven't seen and confirmed the pair. Oh, and that's Chopper. This is it. It's just Blame looking to tap some heads. A nice first, but Spirit take Overpass to get this best of 3 started with the dub. Astralis then have to take it over to Ancient as our second.
This is going to be interesting moving over towards Ancient. I'm actually excited to see this map go on down. I think that Spirit are on a bit of a win streak on that map right here, but this is fantastic. As we mentioned, teams bucking trends. Farley in the opening duels on the CT side. And on this for Spirit, actually being able to concede an opening man on their CT side and convert those rounds. That was essential in some of these situations, but a great showing. Great stuff to see Blame F playing some solid CS still, but needs a second in charge to help him on out going forward.
Well, all those trends were also, of course, outlined by our brilliant panel, and we're going to head back there now to see what they think after all of that. It was a bit of a barn burner. Let's see what the guys over at the desk have to say before we get ready and retooled for Ancient.
I think that's a great way to put it, Machine, and I want all the time that we can get to talk about this because there is so much to talk about. I almost can't find the words, but for Spirit, monumental that they are able to beat Astralis, obviously, in the opening game in this, let's remind ourselves, match to qualify to the Legends stage, and it was Astralis' map pick. So I want to break it out and start just by the halves because there was such a distinct difference between the two, of course, as there always is. But let's see. Astralis start on the CT side. We know historically always a very good side on Overpass, even more in the current meta. And there, Devil, it's a lot of what we have grown used to, Astralis, in terms of their strengths as it starts out.
Yeah, I mean, Blame F, he goes out in every game they start. Basically, just dominates the entire half. And then they switched to the T side. It was the same trend on the last time they played Overpass, where he got like 4 kills on the T side. I think he got the same this time around.
He got 7 this time.
Oh, 7, all right. Basically, he was very, very cold early on. Spirit got to build up their money to have that double op, and we saw Dexter.
Well, honestly, just if we hone in on the T side for a second here, I want to take time to give props to Spirit.
Okay.
For multiple reasons. First of all, they grabbed 5 rounds on the T side of Overpass, and we have talked about their difficulty in spite of Blame being an absolute monster. First of all, then they also had a couple of blunders. We'll touch on them a little bit later in this segment, right? But some rounds they just dropped where they shouldn't, which means they really had to work hard figuring out these 5 rounds, and I think that was the difference maker.
And we also saw the stat coming in, of course, that they had trouble overall when they couldn't get those opening kills. A lot of pressure, of course, on the youngster shoulders of Patsy in that scenario. So let's break out a couple of rounds for when it looked like they were still trailing behind, right? Because they're trying to build up as many rounds as possible on T. And then they have a couple of rounds where they fumble it, right? Mathieu, that's correct to say. So let's pull up round 10 to start. I don't actually know if it's ready already, but can you set the stage for us?
Listen, the rounds that we're about to show you guys, which are round 10 and then a little bit later round 15, are not really just to tackle down Spirit, it's to say in spite of these rounds, they were able to win, which to me I think speaks volume to their T side. We have here obviously the stack from Astralis in what is a pistol, literally an eco round for Astralis that they're going to be able to convert. Dexter with the Glock makes, but we can see here, Devil, it's already a bit messy. It's a bit too messy for me.
But I do like that Dexter has that killer instinct, even and just goes there and clear and pushes through when he needs to. They obviously fumbled this round as well. Config with some beautiful scout shots.
The problem that I have when we're watching this round, we're all in the green room, we're thinking, man, if the challengers are actually going to take down Astralis, you cannot lose these rounds. You are not allowed to lose against USPs and Scout, and yet they turn it around.
And yet they turn it around. Before we get to the turning around, let's talk about round 15 as well, because we need to give some props to Farley in this one, which made you very happy. But you can't lose a 1 versus 3 after the bomb is planted as Spirit, and these are kind of the things I think they'll also need to clean up going into the next T-halves, right?
Yeah, definitely. But still huge positives for Spirit. I mean, it's kind of the reverse. It's Spirit, they were grinding out T-rounds. I was really impressed because they got the best start possible for the CT side on Astralis. They get the conversion, they get the first gun run, they convert again, 5-0, and then they still managed to pick up 5 rounds on the T side with the problems that we showed and highlighted, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we're trying to say here, is that despite of these 2 rounds,
If I should stay or be alone, won't you make up your mind? 'Cause I'm getting tired of overthinking every move you make, and I can help you decide who you're loving now, and how I'm not quite there somehow. My intuition says to give you up, but my heart can't easily let you go. I try to tell myself this isn't love, but I hate that I never really know if I should stay or be alone. I'm just waiting for the fire, but you won't even try to survive you. Would rather keep it all inside, and I can help you decide who you're loving now, and how I'm not quite there somehow. My intuition says to give you up, but my heart can't easily let you go. I try to tell myself this isn't love, but I hate that I never really know if I should stay or be alone. If I should stay or be alone. If I should stay or be alone. I don't wanna be alone tonight. I'm just hoping that you'll be just right. And I hate that I never really know if I should stay or be alone. If I should stay or be alone. I don't wanna be alone tonight. I'm just hoping that you'll be just right. And I hate that I never really know if I should stay or be alone.
Cause those hands and lights can't stop me. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. Now with you, now with you, this high.
him. And I want to see more of that. I want to see him getting more entries so that Blame can get more impact on the T side.
I think that's a great point because, you know, we've been talking about config for a long time, right? On this Astralis, it was a consistency issue and whatnot that had been resolved. But this is a kind of opportunity, I think, for him, and also a necessity, Mathieu, if I'm being honest, for him to really show why he is such a menace on this map.
That's correct. And also because, again, BlameF, it's not exactly in his portfolio to go out and make the difference early on. Farlig, granted, he's a hybrid, at times can have impact with the rifle, but sometimes he does like that ability to open up around the way a Simple would do it, a Shiro would do it, a Zaiwa would do it. Farlig doesn't necessarily have that in the toolkit. So it kind of befalls on config to be out there, to get out there, to go out middle, like David Walker's talking about, and making the difference. And we have to be honest, he's been relatively silent in this major. I mean, we hold him to a very high demand, high esteem. Then now it's time to put it on the server.
Yeah, and also for Glaive, I think the continuing story or focal point for this is, you know, with the new setup of this Astralis, is he going to get to the same heights as he did as an IGL before with the era of Astralis? And he certainly has his work cut out for him, right, Devil?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's always tough to get into these positions when you struggle on the T side. The ideas might, because it's hard to kind of search and problem solve it sometimes. It can be one flash that just destroys the entire round. So and it's hard for them to be able to fix that from map to map right now. They need a little bit of a break to review that.
Look, I want to inspire the Astralis fans out there. I have a few numbers, a few data that's going to help them and their morale, right? Astralis, that's 14 Ancient playing in the last 3 months and only 3 losses out of 14 maps. And these 3 losses were at the hand of ENCE players, now Cloud9 and Na'Vi. These are the calibers of team that Astralis lose to on Ancient. We are barreling towards a third map. Astralis have everything they need to push it to a third.
They have everything they need, but maybe Spirit has something left in the tank, even on Ancient, now that they are up 1-0 over Astralis. Let's find out. What do you think, Machine?
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun finding out, that's for sure. I have been desperately begging Chad every time. I'm like, could we see Ancient? Could we see Ancient?
No.
Well, no, it's been a no up until now, and we do get to see it. Spirit pulling it out, or rather Astralis pulling it out against Spirit. We do have the 1-0 leader with Overpass under their belt, and I do think the 11 wins out of 14 certainly does point towards a potential third.
Yeah, I think the thing is Matthew's trying to help the Danes, right? They get a little bit of hope behind their team. I'll go the opposite way. Spirit with the 5-map winning streak, they've just picked up their map choice. They're looking hot on the CT side. They get to start on the CT side, and Astralis are in a T-sided drought, as they mentioned, with Config not having a great major so far.
Oh, you did well.
Yeah.
Oh, you did well.
Look, this is a chance for Spirit to sneak themselves into the next stage with a quick 2-0 victory.
Yo, this would be sneaky. How many people had Spirit in the pick'ems?
Yeah, that's going to be a good question, isn't it?
Let's see. Patsy already is going to be tested in middle. Strafes gracefully into Donut, and he's got 3 coming and knocking on his door. It could just be an alternate avenue up towards Ledge. And it does seem to be the case. Interesting. So Astralis, they've got the full squad established and testing cave now. Hello? Observers?
Well, might have a technical issue or two right here as we can see the fight's going down over on towards that B bomb site.
What's going on, Dan?
Well, we are just watching, this is Patsy View. As you saw, what is it, csgo.pgoesports.com.
Yeah.
20 POVs, you can pick your own. We picked Patsy's this round, Alex.
Yeah, for those of you watching on GoTV, check out Patsy. It's actually a very close round, and Patsy is the one to watch as he does shut down Blame, bomb scooped, and he's going to surely hunt him down. Zip. Spots him, and still catches lead. A great start for Spirit, and that is already a foreboding feeling in the stomach of Astralis fans.
See, look at this. Our observers are so far in the future, they knew that Patsy was going to get those kills. Then the most important kills of the entire round.
Yeah, the rest was just, you know, trimming the fat.
Exactly.
Didn't need to see any of
the
that.
last kill's the only kill that matters.
Yeah.
Well, okay, nice way to kick things off here. And we know how difficult these T rounds have been. The fact that Spirit have got this pistol, if Astralis don't win this force fight right now, they're going to find themselves in a hole very early, deep incendiary. The push coming. We've seen this one before.
We have great flash to pop and push. And Glaive, this is the frag. This is the frag. He's already found it. Things will get very scary very quickly. And you can see, look at the rotate they've forced. This is exactly going to plan. Glaive facilitates a full open B site through fighting that fight. If he can just stay threatening, and he has managed to get himself out of dodge, he'll re-smoke mid to keep those
be careful.
Doubtful thoughts. He thinks better of it. There is a safe way to throw it.
Well, this is huge from Chopper right here.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Lots of damage done, and he actually has information that there's less lingering in mid. Still a little bit worried about the donut position. They can tell that's a problem here, but moving back over towards the B bomb site is Magic. Smokes, plenty of them right now to look at the long and short positions. But look at Chopper continuing to push through mid. He might be behind them before they've even executed, jumping up over Tetris momentarily.
You can see, I mean, they're going to have to use their numbers, which will mean there is a gap to be threaded.
They're going to have everybody on B. They're reading this very well.
Yeah, just a bit late from Astralis. They had pulled the rotate. Now,
Missed a smoke as well.
with a missed smoke and a full stacked side, Siren will lose vision. Magic safe from the flash. 2 cave side, 3 up the ramp. And here's the flank we were discussing. Backs are turned, and it's only the one from Chopper. So battered, so bruised. Astralis should be mopped up here, swept under the rug, although an imposing start with Glaive's opening. It is just the two of them, Zip and Glaive, the OGs of the squad. And that's a nice find from Magic's farming up, staying nimble on the SMGs. Zip the same, and well, they're on the defuse, and that is that. 2-0. Spirit handle business.
Taken care of there, right? I think once there was no more threat felt towards A, the fact that Chopper just gets to walk through middle, push all the way up, play behind that Tetris box. A very good play from Chopper right there. Sometimes he's calling, sometimes some of his movements can cost the team, but this time in a very crucial round to convert, able to scoop it on up with impact. Now it will just be some Glocks coming out likely for Astralis here. Want to make sure that they can get... Oh, hold up a second. Looking like they're hedging their bets into a bit of a half bite. They know the loss bonus will be playing into their favor of 2,400 into the next. So I made that 2,900 into the next. So more than enough for a buy. And actually, they've gone heavily all in on Glaive. He even has Galil. They're trying to keep this very threatening with a fast beam.
Very fast, and already Magic's at least takes one. He'd have loved more. Farley's so low. Still alive. Long a threat. Config responsible for it. The flash is coming, but already Config has 2. Takes a big frag, takes the M4 to suppress, and now Spirit are down under duress.
Big nade.
Yeah, right on top of his noggin. Dexter chunked, and it's likely the M4 bullets will take everything away if you do stick around. Spirit, they want to go for the round, and already the damage. Poor Dexter, Siren, all just taking a beating. And so Astralis, it seems like the name of the game is going to be pace initially.
Yeah,
like, look at the 2 openings.
Yeah.
The 2 openings is Glaive being flashed up for a fast donut fight, and now just straight out of Spawn up into B.
Yeah, Devil Walk was talking about it, right? It was these openings. They had Mahone on the blast showdown. Oh, hold up. Chopper's going to try and do some damage here on the way out. They've been able to slink on past. The USB in the back of the head takes down Zip. He's going to scoop up a MAC-10, but he was just here to try and take away whatever weaponry he could. So a little bit of damage done there. Curious as well to see Astralis go for that buy because it wasn't an all-in. Like Glaive all-in, the rest of them almost half-ball in that situation. But the openings, they're not easy to get away with on a map like Ancient, right? Getting out of middle, pushing, you need to use that best spawn to try and beat the first incendiary, right? We've had that highlighted before in the way that you can use the smokes to extinguish with the flashes, but you still want to use that spawn to try and get in the CT's faces as quick as possible. There's not going to be any dramas in the buy department for either of these teams here, but an early round on the board for Astralis, which didn't look likely, right? Lost the pistol, lost the force, thought the eco was coming, and instead the gun's back out in their face. So,
yeah, that's a seasoned veteran call. Just knowing that this not the setup is not going to be conducive with what they're throwing at them. So, after a bit of a hectic start, we will have the pace taken out of it with a pause.
Yeah, I think right now maybe we could reflect what was going on over on that secondary stream of the day. Obviously, on the main stream, we have teams progressing into the Legend stage. Over on that secondary stream, we have teams getting eliminated. Yesterday, we said goodbye to Renegades and 9Z. Today, we'll be saying goodbye to one of Imperial and IHC. That's the first game of the day. The second will be Complexity taking on Liquid. And the third and final elimination of the day will be MIBR taking on Eternal Fire. You can see there the B-Stream update 4-1 in favor of Imperial on their map choice. They've opted to take the battlefield of Overpass and Inferno as the third and decider, which is a strong map for both teams, IHC and Imperial, right? It's the map where Imperial were actually able to take down Liquid, which was one of the bigger upsets of the tournament thus far. So I'll be curious to see how that one unfolds. If you want to check out that action, twitch.tv/PGL_CSGO with Harry and Hugo. You can check out on YouTube. Just search PGL. You can rewind, 4K, all that good stuff.
Or watch 20 POVs over at csgo.pglesports.com.
Yeah, you can pick how many players you want to watch. Which is fun to watch, right? Because when you go back and you watch a demo, maybe there's a player, you have a play style that you just want to... For example, if you just want to watch Dexter, which is understandable, you could just see how this madman operates around the map from his point of view, which is always fun.
Yeah, I'd probably have Dexter and I'd have Config.
Blame?
Blame would be interesting. Get to see how this how the pressure of this T side that Config is expected to deliver upon intersects with that of Dexter, who's just coming off of a hot CT AWPing masterclass and bringing it straight over to the CT side of Ancient. And your highlights of the win streak, was it 4?
5 in a row right now.
5 wins in a row for Spirit.
Yeah, it is against the likes of like NIP Academy team, right? The Young Ninjas or Sinners, Saw, etc. Not names of Astralis' caliber. Matthew was pointing out that the names that they were losing to were Cloud9, for example, or Na'Vi, some very big dogs on a map like Ancient. So we're talking top 10 teams in the world. So a difference in that regard, but still, Spirit have just done it. We've just seen them win Overpass, and we've seen them do it in quite a strong CT side, and that's where they get to pick up. Now, we are getting back underway. Thank you for bearing with us on that technical issue. Zip has the best spawn right now for Astralis, not known to be an entry fragger, so let's see how they slink this one into control. Mid-smoke.
5 leaning A side. This could get interesting. Could be the first test for Siren. Here they come. Oh, again, just so quick. Like, they're already out. They are already throwing the nades. Dexter looked them to react. Siren unwilling to give them anything early. And this is the line he chooses to hold. Config has a deep flash to stop that. And already Dexter's revealed. It's up to Siren. He was flashed as well. Does not hear the plant. Does not activate. Siren will, however, deal with Config. And it's a hard sight to pay the post plan. Let's see if Astralis can flip the script. Not yet. Farley does take down Siren. More in Temple. Resmoking CT. This is going to be very difficult for Spirit to break through. A couple of flashes, trying to regroup their forces. You can see around the world maneuver adopted by Blame. No surprises there. And Patsy's so unprepared, but he gets around the corner. At least he's aware of the fight, shuts it down, and Astralis are really sprinting into these bomb sites now. Back to back, albeit with a pause. But Spirit, like, they have 20 seconds to work it out before Astralis have locked it down.
Well, Farley might go down here as well. Magics will get the kill, not the end of the world. They have enough cash to splash, but 2 staying alive with that AWP. Blame looking for what he can. Now that's a change up. A fast A play after a fast B play, right? And traditionally from the CT side, you will see 2 mid, 3 towards B, or you could see 3 mid, 2 towards B. You don't often see too many teams who start a player A. Some like to get in aggressive, but it's more few and far between. It's not the standard setup here. So Astralis taking advantage of that CT setup after a little bit of conditioning in a previous round.
Yeah, exactly. What would happen if you were going early donut is you sit there and you'd be screaming. You hear the whole party charging. But what a luxury for an in-game leader to have successfully hit both sites back to back at the start of a T half.
Shadow spotted on the jump right there. Shot taken from Dexter. So AWP identified right now over towards B. Mid control can start to be taken now by the Astralis side. The Danes smoke off top mid. They send Farley and Config forward, knowing that Dexter very unlikely to be towards Donut. They're taking the liberties here. But Red House is going to be hard to clear against these pesky pistols. Magic's and Siren with a strong crossfire.
Oh, I mean, one of them's going to have to connect, right? Farley's going to flash. Oh, and Siren's already given him the frag. Expect the flash.
He won't expect Magic.
Yeah.
Oh!
But it doesn't matter. He still gets the headshot. Config, he's going on a bit of a tear here. Chopper's only got the USP. He's got nothing to say about that. The rifle of Magic's long gone and unretrievable. Oh, this is looking like a very imposing force from Astralis.
Config's the perfect bait right now. All 3 CTs want to deal with him in this position. It's such a power position. There's an AK down, maybe another one to find. More pistol shots taken, another AK scooped on up. Config just fighting for his life, has grabbed the 3rd, but guess what? B's open, Astralis are in.
They are looking rigid and
get the ace here.
regimented. Config's already farmed up 3 and 4. It's only Dexter on that AWP. He'd love to hold on to it. Will Config allow it? Just going to have to hide out in the donut, likely hitting a couple of shots should they choose to hunt. But Astralis already looking very fierce. Farley lives on. And that's going to be Config taking an ace here in Antwerp. 3 rounds back-to-back from Astralis. and locking down. They've not only had successes back-to-back with B, A, now it's a config pop-off in mid.
That's important for config here as well. There's some of these players who, once they start a half early on a bit of a heater, they get a couple multi-kills, and Ace is obviously the extreme end of this. But if they start with a couple of nice kills on pistol and that confidence is flowing and they feel like they can take these fights, they're reading the game well. It's great for a player like him on the T side. So let's see if he can continue to lay that pain down range. Config back in the early days was a guy with a grab, you know, get up to these 12, 13, 14, 15 kills within the first 6 or 7.
Yeah. Oh, he can definitely heat up.
Mr. Flash.
Siren's there. Config's good, but not good enough for Siren's hold. Ahead of the smoke. He may not be prepared for that, but anticipating presence. Glaive, and down he goes. Siren successfully defending the A presence, and already all the pieces start to tumble out of this Astralis tower. Caught in the open. Blinded by Dexter, dunked on by Magix, leaves us to blame.
Oh, we can start laying a little bit of blame to that Glaive Flash right there. Just an unforced error, causing a bit of a boost. Now, not even going to clear on down, doesn't get a chance to do so. Siren will pip him at the post, and a clean one there. A Spirit bite back, 3-3 the score now reads. Cash to splash, no dramas there. But Astralis, it was the little details, and then every single fight just didn't go their way. So a really strong defense here from Spirit. What's the change-up going to be right here, right now? Over towards B again with that Farley AWP. Glaive throwing out the mid-util, top mid smoke, Infinity Molly right now.
Oh, you're not pushing through two. You're not pushing through two and a HE, so config will be at least corralled to wait it out. Crawling now.
Spotted him.
He knows where Patsy is, and there's no assistance. The flash is great to at least confirm pressure, but you can see the smoke donut.
Needs a flash, needs
Siren
something.
can push this. He's about to be Molotov'd out. Would love to find something here as he stands and looks to deliver again. This time Patsy takes the fight onto config. And they'll put the Berserker down early.
Oh, it's done a little bit of damage on Farley. Patsy with a second from the heavens. What a proactive mid-hole this has been.
I mean, they're quick to address the issues. You know, this was something that could have bled out.
Did it in waves as well, right? They were happy to let them establish territory and then took it back off them, ripped it out of their hands. Good stuff from Patsy here. Here's that X factor.
Yeah, Dexter's got the dream angle. Oh, actually has let blame through. Not going to be committing through that. Or as nice as it is to bait the orb shot, you have got such few pieces to work with.
I feel like they have to save right now. I know that there's 40 seconds left on the clock and they're still all postured towards B, but they might not get a chance here. I think Dexter wants to take these guns away.
Oh, Farley's going to lose it all. At the hands of Dexter, no less, and he's not done. A quick one to Zip, strings them together. And Blame hiding in plain sight. Near the site. Very volatile this game.
The worst, yeah, indeed. I really enjoy the fluid nature of Spirit's defense. They're staying very active. Right? They're constantly pushing and prodding and poking, not allowing Astralis to establish the territory that they may like. And you've also seen the change up from Siren over towards A. That round where he immediately went on over in towards the A main position means if Astralis do want to head A again quite swiftly, they will have to deal with that potential. That has to stay in the back of their minds here. Now, the fact that they didn't save any of these guns other than Blame's M4 means it will just be that M4. And if you caught the death segment before, Devilwalk had something to say about the way that Blame operated on the T side of Overpass when he held onto the only AK. He was suggesting that Blame needs to use it first, not just using the pistols in front. Try and recycle this gun. Allow Blame to proc and prod, and then if he goes on down, someone else scoops it up and has a second crack. If he's the last man to stand before he takes a shot, that's a problem.
Well, it seems to be the case. Here come the Glocks, trying to draw the crosshair away, and this is where Siren can activate, and it is just going to be Blame's AK and Farley's Glock that's opened up the site for a conversation.
Nah, not expecting this, is he?
No way. Patsy's already postured, confirms it with the barrel. At least Farley's managed to pick up an AWP, but with such low HP, anything could take him down here. The flutter of a butterfly's wing or a Patsy AK. So Spirit, they will extend their lead. A 2-round gap formed with 3 consecutive.
And this is where the issue is with that Blame save. He is now off the pace with the rest of the team's money. He's like that guy in your matchmaking games who keeps by when you say eco. So unfortunately, he'll have to go down to a bit of a Mac 10 here. And you might want to see him wield that quite aggressively because the 2 rounds, the 2 gun rounds that Astralis have been able to scoop one up have been with pace. One towards B, One towards A, and the other was an ace from Config in middle. Same utility towards mid. The Infinity Molly, the top mid smoke, and, well, faster towards A with footsteps. They're going quick on this again. Same play as earlier.
And already the smokes are in the sky. They'll be blooming before Dexter gets there. Still has vision. Had a chance. He still has another chance. He goes 2 shy, and already the frags are in the feed. Hard to plant with Magix and Spawn. It's Patsy's flank that's already been cut short, and so Astralis. It's the pace that seems to be the winning condition. But already Magix and Chopper seem to have a little bit more ambition than Abe could finish it. Clave, 1 HP! 1 HP! It's up to Magix, and he will finish the job. It's just Blame. Chopper's on it. Crosser, he's not going to spray it, and Spirit recover. Astralis' pace does break down the door, but we've got construction and repair in the form of a retake. Magic's up to 9 with Dexter. This fluid defense you were alluding to, it's there. It strikes again. It's a hard site to defend in the post plan.
Yeah, look how quickly they responded to that, right? This is one of the issues that teams have with the A bomb site right now. If you're just going to go A in that regard, there's a couple of things that need to go your way. You had that Blame F flank that previously was able to come around behind, kill Patsy, and then be in donut, right? This time, because Patsy was getting one step ahead and was outflanking Blame, Blame felt the need to have to rotate around and go back through main in that scenario right there. When you go A, one of the keys, if you can get temple control and actually scale quite quickly, you can stifle the rotation. You can actually put pressure on CT spawn. You don't want the CTs to have temple, CT, and donut all available as part of that retake. That's perfect for them. What positions can you possibly be in? Sure, you can boost tree, play over towards the platform. Site is a no-go zone. And if you're in main, you get smoked on off. It's easy done. So good trading on the way on out, but Magic's found a lot of impact right there. Siren wasn't too happy with how those kills went on down, but I'm sure as he sat and watched from the grave, he would have been very happy with Magic's bullets through the smoke. Plant good, buy back. Astralis 3 rounds shy now of Spirit's lead. A bit more of a standard default spread here. I think they want to put a leash on this Dragon. Key position from Chopper here, and then the spam on through. Blame knows this very well. He plays it on the CT side for Astralis. As the smoke starts to fade, the molly comes on through. They clear it on now.
You're kind of taking cave and mid control in unison here. You can see it's Patsy that will have 0 to report, a smoke in his face, and a full squad. It's almost a similar flight path from that of the pistol, regrouping now. And actually, no, they are crawling up mid, using that red room smoke, and there's no one occupying donut.
But this is the info game, right? They push them back more passively on B, they push them back more passively on mid, and now you can actually start to turn your affections and attentions towards the other side of the map.
Oh, Dexter, he's got the perfect line, and just a flash of Gene Fabric, and now they commit. Siren, not ready for that. He assumed his AWP would be able to provide the overwatch, but just the one. It's Config now, shutting down the rotates. This is good pressure from Astralis. They have the rotate cut off, but Dexter's cutting them off at the heels. Pushing through the smoke is Farley. It's kept level as Patsy already breaks into the site. Farley over the top of the box, lucky to be alive. It's Magic's onto Config, and they know he's low. A nade with his name on it. Oh, down to 4, nearly the collat. He will go down, and Spirit, another successful round on this. A retake. It had a lot more legs to it there from Astralis.
But they're so pesky, right, coming on in. Spirit are killing players who aren't even looking in their general direction, right? They have no idea where this is even coming from. And Astralis did that great job, right? They did exactly what they needed to do, the press. They pressed them back from B long. They pushed them back away from cave. They denied all the mid vision. And the timing of that smoke was perfect. But the fact that Dexter gets away from so many kills right there, that is the real issue. Right, they needed to trade him almost immediately. So Dexter, you can see the grin from ear to ear. He knows the level of impact he is continuing to have. 11 kills paired on up with Magix here.
He's having a great major. Good to see Magix as well. Getting the sleep out of his eyes. Back to B. Second letter of the alphabet. Astralis looking for their 4th round. It's been quite the drought. 5 rounds in a row as Spirit ignite.
Might just have to be a B set piece a little bit quicker. A pop and go. Nades are coming.
Yeah, reaction for utilities there, and so is Dexter. You're just trying to get this monkey off your back. Dexter still does the damage. Chopper's sprayed down too, and Astralis left wanting. It's very one track, and they are laughing at them with an 8th already. They will win out this CT half.
Dexter is everywhere they go. Everywhere, right? Like, hey, last round in Temple, this round, B pillar. just pipping you off before you can even get on in. And Zipper's having a real rough go of things. Only 1 kill for him so far.
It's the dream, isn't it, for a CT squad to have a dynamic AWPer who can take his initiative, take his spots, and also hit his shots. He was flashed, still contributes the opening.
The Russian B again here.
Yeah,
worked for him once.
It's worked once, you're right. Half partial. Bye, and this time it's Magix that does say goodbye to one. A second tucked in tight. It's all Magix. 3 in quick succession, and already that is 2 rounds in less than 30 seconds, Chad.
Yeah, check your clock, take a timeout, do something, cool on out, because this is getting away from Astralis now. I know this is a CT bias map, but in the way that some of these rounds are falling apart, in the way that this is being handled right now, it's going to be a timeout call from Spirit. They're the ones who are going to have a bit of a breather.
Guys,
This
what
has
did
gone
they
too well.
Maybe it is just a question of what did you see? Yeah, was there a rifle at the back of the pack? Was there anything that we need to be concerned about, or we got the AKs in for this one? Just another 10 seconds on that.
This is an issue right now for Astralis. We only have a couple rounds left to play within this first half, and we're talking over 10k for 2 of the players, and 2 not too far behind for Spirit, 9.9 for Chopper, and Dexter on 9.1. So the buys are going to be plentiful here. Even if Astralis are able to bounce back with a round, Spirit will be able to buy straight back in, be as threatening as they've looked, continue this dynamic-looking CT defense. And Astralis have been touted in recent times for being one of these teams who are looking to solve Ancient. Well, they're being stumped right now. The only rounds they were able to pick on up was when the economy was a little bit more in flux. Now, all the nades, all the goodies, everything Spirit need, they are putting Pain down range. Pushing.
Whoa, Magix is pissed. He's furious. They came to his site with a disrespect. Now he's going to lay it back down to them. It's cost him a great deal. Good God, look at their health. And trapped, he cannot relieve. They cannot. Give this up. A 3-man CT aggress. Nice little smoke, and it does leave Glaive scratching his head. They're looking for answers. Who's here? What's here? There he goes. Glaive gone, no one else, not a peep. And it is now Patsy waving the flag, saying, get back to B. No info. Up mid. This is a nice pincer if they can count on Zip. I think our HUD needs a refresh. Farley's the one on long here. And he shuts them down. Config combines. The two of them, Farley and Config, get the job done. And it's Glaive's fake that does break Astralis' silence.
Yeah, that was a change-up right there. I think Spirit didn't like it when they got pushed back in towards Cave before, when they lost that control. So they thought, how can we deny that default setup that actually worked earlier? Well, easily, we can go with aggression. But they were so quick to rotate off of a little bit of contact on towards that A site. And look, if Astralis have identified now, yeah, boys, every time we hit a site, they're just full rotating. They're leaving gaps. Astralis can now start to play this style, right? It's a bit more split up. It's hoping that you don't just get stopped with head-to-head counter. Look at all the incendiaries. That's 3 of them thrown at mid to deny. There's no way out.
Yeah, you really have no option. No choice in the matter.
Oh, this is another different look, right? Patsy's jumped up mid here immediately, and look at that nade onto Zip. Comps that one down the back of the collar. 50 points of health remaining. Has to be a little bit more conservative as far as this is regarded. Looks like they want to go late mid here. Does Patsy address this?
I mean, Patsy tends to have a good feeling for it. He's managed to evade the shots from behind. He's dealing with 2 on the duel. He will go down. Combination of hot lead and the shrapnel.
So this from Chopper.
Yeah, he's just been spotted on the crossback.
Did Config see him? I think he did.
Yeah, Config's got him on lock. Bait. Where is the finish? Chopper's going to be burnt out. A missed shot. Config will not make that mistake, but Dexter is still in the feed. 15 frags and counting. Man disadvantage still. Regrouping for B. It will be Magix, who is up in the crazy KD realm, 16 and 4. Better equipped opponents this time around. The smoke is great. The nade is better. Zipper's caught 2 of them. He's only got 10 HP. Hasn't seen an enemy yet. Magix has the lineup. You can see his crosshairs placed to deny this bomb. Just shy. Can't find the info. He's just a millimeter off of Farley. But now Astralis have the advantage. Can Spirit kick this retake into gear? Not going to be easy. Starting their crawl. A nice line from Farley. Then there's a switch. Oh! It's Siren actually gets them both. The nade gets away as well. Farley's gone. All onto Dexter, but Siren has set him up for something manageable. Here, no time. No time for this, Dexter. You've got to get them both. He knows exactly where you are. Gets the first. He'd need the wallbang here. Or just hope. Blame gives it to him for free. The quick scope misses. No time on the clock, but he will take every single Dane with him. Wow, hectic for sure, but that is going to be Astralis back on the board. 5 now, and 2 in a row. What's the CT finances? Absolutely tickety-boo.
Yeah, they've got no dramas, right? We established earlier a couple of players with 10K, so the fact that they can buy out the rest of this half, if they can get 10, they're going to be happy with this. Dexter's such a nuisance, isn't he? He's over here towards B as well, even making a round out of this. That was great from Siren. The Hail Mary grenade, the holy hand grenade to try and get that final kill, but they'd love 10 here, Spirit. They've worked hard for this. Astralis have finally been able to work out and solve this case.
Yeah, they can get a half out of this. I mean, 5 already, not to be snuffed at. Especially on Ancient, especially with the CT. Leniency, aggression already nets them 2, and there's more there. Zip, sick of these nades. Glaive and Zip combine nicely. Patsy's his next victim as Zipex does come alive when he's needed most. Into a very quick 3-on-3. Config leaves mid just as it's cleared through Donut. And Magix already falls foul to the Config AK. They can just dump their util here. They know they're probably isolated. The bomb a bit behind the pack. It's going to be calling Zip into action. Siren and Dexter to slowly arrive from lane and cave respectively. Dexter's orb potent, and he still hits the shot. That might send them up the ramp. Config and Zip have not got any more territory, and now it's Siren that arrives. Astralis, they had their teeth into this one, but completely removed with a swift left hook. It's Dexter for the finish, and you can see how much this feels good for the Spirit boys.
What a play from Dexter that was, because the fact right there that he comes out and he gets that pick, Siren's not spotted, then he runs away, so Config's expecting him to drop on back towards the B bomb site, then Siren peeks on out. So that wombo combo right there was perfect. It lured them in, it baited them into that kind of a fight. So Dexter steps out, gets this kill, Glaive calls the info, the steps are backpedaling here, and then Zip, poor Zip, the guy who had to go back and get the bomb, he was the guy that got the double kill on B lane, is just stranded. So a really good play from Dexter here, staying super flexible throughout. Him and Magix have had great halves, 19 and 17 respectively. The workhorses of the team have got 10 in total for Spirit, and this pistol round, it's going to be worth its weight in gold. A huge pistol round about to come into play right now.
Ooh-wee, yeah, bookies favoring Spirit. I think they're backing themselves as well. Let's see. Pistol time. And indeed, Astralis, this is, as far as the cliches go, a must
pushing
win.
main here, Alex.
They are going to be taking a 2-man hold here. Ready to disrupt immediately. What was that? The first bullet out of Patsy's clock, and he shuts down the entire A defense. Oh no.
Jeez.
Astralis evaporate. A gap on the smoke might motivate, but already this is bleak for Astralis. They just catch those first clicks out of Patsy. Oh, go on. Give it to him. Give him the 4. There you go, Patsy. Laying down the law.
These guys must have really strong mouse hands, I think, Alex, because you look at how they give those high fives. They are really putting some power behind those, letting them know they're here in the server today.
Yeah, SDY was talking about how much they can hurt on Twitter.
It's not. It doesn't look like it's just Dexter. It looks like it's contagious. It looks like everybody's just slamming him down. I guess stronger mouse hand, maybe that's the training. Keep it a little bit more precise. Make sure you don't start to get shaky.
It's like the boxers that just kind of slam themselves with medicine balls.
There you go. A couple of gut punches here, there, and everywhere. But this is Astralis into a force. This right now is...
Oh, it's not a great smoke. Patsy's kind of smoked himself off. You can, of course, throw into the wall for vision, but perhaps that's the intention. It does mean that Config will have a chance on the fade. A 4-man lean here from Spirit on the second round break. Config going to be feeling frisky here. The backs away. It's this duel again. It's been quite prominent between the two of them. Patsy and head-to-head Config, and actually just shy of the first bullet, and that's going to be a punish from Patsy. Another double for him on back-to-back T rounds here to open.
Oof.
Nice from Glaive. Good on the 5-7, but will go down. And yeah, Blake, good luck, have fun. Siren will post his 11th, and this is getting into the dangerous waters of a Spirit 2-0.
The timing from Patsy right there was perfect because Config's crosshair wasn't placed if he had crossed, right? So Patsy had found the perfect gap right there, and Config's going to be feeling very unfortunate that that was actually pipped. And the biggest issue right here is, remember in the first half how Astralis was able to pick up that third round. They actually went for 2 consecutive force/half buys. Well, this time around on the CT side, you can't do that. You have to sit back right now and take the full eco. They have a Deagle for Blame, a P250 in the hands of Config, but 3 USPs. And I know they won a round like this on Overpass. Let's see if they can do it again, because I think they desperately need it right now. Spirit should be good for their 13th round of play. What a nade. And look at all this space from Patsy. He really seems like he's come alive on this map. The constant aggressive maneuvers, and he's bearing straight down. Jumped, heard, oh, didn't clear his corners, will go down. A Mac 10 over, and the information isn't great. If Config can get that P250 or the Mac 10 to another teammate, they start to seem a little bit stronger on this Astralis side.
Yeah, Zip's so low from those nades. It's just a distraction. Hoping Farley doesn't get cleared as hard. They've got him, and yeah, that's the end of that. Magic sees to it. And nothing to report.
You could see what Spirit's intention was there as well, right? It's not let's just get into the dotted line on the ground where we can plant the bomb. It's let's make sure that any of these pressure points are actually under our control before we attempt to plant that bomb. So any options that could have made this one go a little bit skew-if against the eco was removed. Patsy's aggressive play, sure, it got punished, but it meant nothing in terms of the round right here. And now we have to turn to Astralis with their first CT-sided rifle round.
Yeah, no AWP on Farley. It's going to be those M4A1. I mean, there is no one better for the role of containing middle, but that's not where Spirit are going. They look like they want to have a little bit of a quick one here. Yeah, Siren, as soon as that molly fades, there will be a well-placed nade. Glaive calling for aid.
Can be mollied here.
Config in support. Extinguished, but still low. And Dexter spotted out. Usually when there's Dexter, there is Spirit. But that's a change of plans. It does seem like they have been completely cancelled.
They could just park Dexter here and wait for any reaggress. Like, he could literally just stay in this position. If there's a peek from Temple, he will win this fight. And his presence alone is scary.
Yeah, Config's going to walk about. He's got 3 up against him. And he's ready. Ready for the brawl. 2 of the 3. You'll take the percentage. 666, certainly looking like a beast. And Blame needs this duel cleanly. Oh. Okay, Magix decides he's had enough. Galil versus Blame, no issues. And now it's all onto Zip on his shoulders. You can see Patsy head on a swivel, knows that Zip is present. One single warning shot enables Magix and Spirit locking out the Danes. As easy as that. Dexter puts 2 in the feed, as easy as that. And oh, you can hear them. They're starting to get that vibration that they could be in the next stage of competition.
This is crazy right now. They are absolutely destroying Astralis. This is them on their home map, or what Astralis has tried to make their home map, getting dismantled. 14-5 the score now reads. Money is not there for a buy, which means if they take a partial, they concede 15 more than likely. And that means we might not be seeing the Danes over there in the stage where those tickets would even come into play. They're going to have a 2-2 game tomorrow. It's going to get very dire down there.
Oh man, 2-2 with Astralis in attendance. And also, don't forget, for Spirit, there is going to be a lot more eyeballs on their Ancient here. You know, that 5 win streak you were talking about probably didn't raise too many eyebrows. You talked about the opponents, you know, the tier 2. But coming in here and treating Astralis like this for a spot at the next stage of competition, that will draw eyeballs. And it does seem like Spirit have got a very firm grasp of their intentions and how the win conditions do boil on over. 14-5, and it's going to be an interesting approach from the Astralis boys. They have managed to open up with a frag, which is a welcome change. Okay, Config very brave to be trying to take that fight so actively on his own.
Well, they're going to call B clear, but guess what? It's going to be straight on towards A. You got to do it all right now, Glaive.
Concentration stations for Lucas Rossender. He's got the whole squad just held at bay by his smoke grenade. Support in the form of Farley on the fade. A cheeky bit of leg. Still vision, still threatening. Just pistols, and yeah, you really are losing the angles here. Patsy, again, a bit of a difference maker on this T side. Oh, wow, that was quick out of Blame. Maybe there's something to be said. It's Blame and Zip. Regular featured pair up against the 3 of Spirit. But this is 15 looming, and it seems like a certainty when Patsy's in the form he is. Puts himself up to 19, it's all on Blame. No kit, but all of the headshots. Blame F is such a threat, but Spirit now have got 10 opportunities to get to the next stage of the major up against Astralis. Chad, 2-0 is on the menu. In fact, never mind, it's a full complimentary entree.
This right now would require 10 consecutive rounds from Astralis, and that's just to go on overtime. That's just to get us to OT to even be competitive here. And considering now that Spirit have that many rounds to play with, they can throw anything they want Astralis' way. They could be as risky as they want. They can make as many out-of-the-box plays as they're looking for here, because one of them eventually is going to land. They cannot make a single fault right now, Astralis.
Well, what a luxury. I mean, Chopper can call the fruitiest round he could possibly desire and have another 9 opportunities should it not work.
Working on this mid control again. The top mid smoke has faded. Molly's both ledge and over towards the cutout position. Flashing forward, Config, careful now.
Yeah, Patsy's not considered it. Does not take a lick. Blame not choosing to swing off the flash. Instead, he will manage to isolate and retreat. Patsy's still alive, though, and that often has translated into victory. Magix is already under a lot of scrutiny. He's completely turned tail. And Zip single-handedly has maintained control of B. Blame in support. They're coming. This is everything for Zip. The Dexter peak is swift. One to be feared. Here it comes, and he's down again. Blame still kicking up a fuss.
Gap on A right now, but the problem is if they even make it all the way over there, they will have to deal with that retake, right? And we know how potent it was for Spirit retaking that A site time and time again. You can see Magic's already parking himself over towards T-spawn, and with 20 seconds left, this will be the same. If they're going to hold on to their goodies, when you have so many rounds to work with, you can understand why this would be the approach. They also know that they did a lot of damage to Magic's, right? Zip knows that he put so much pepper as he tried to come through the doors over towards B, so they live on. Astralis will confirm their 6th round.
I saw a gourmet pepper store the other day. I didn't realize there was such a market.
Yeah, like, didn't Bardolph always be a big pepper man?
Yeah, but I imagined he was like, you know, quite a unique individual in that respect. I didn't realize there was a full market for the gourmet pepper.
Yeah, look, I haven't been a big fan of pepper myself, but maybe we can get into it. Maybe we can get into it.
Should have popped my nose in the door.
Well, look at this right here. 25 for Dexter, 23 for Magix, and 19 for Patsy. Those three, and especially as you mentioned, Patsy's impact so far on this T side has been nothing more than immaculate.
Okay, wow. Magix has got a full leeway, and Zipex versus Magix. The duel again goes his way. This isn't the commit, but it's pretty convincing. Farley at least solves the mystery, and okay, the mischief has been managed. The pace sucked out of Spirit. This is CT side Ancient, but the margin for error has been completely removed by the high-flying start of Spirit. Now, interestingly enough, I imagine you were looking at that Dexter bomb as well. Very isolated and making sure presence is still heard towards those A halls. He is going to start to rejoin the pack now.
The problem is with Siren and Patsy both going here through cave is they have the smoke, so they're not going to be able to do the smokes long and short. They'll be able to limp one out from this position, but they have to take a fight. Maybe it's contact on the menu.
This fight onto Farley, it's unlikely he gets given it. And so they will just do it on the fly, yeah, no punishment initially. Farley, tagged up by the spray, will force him a little wider. And a smoke of his own could catch him. Oh, okay. At least obscures himself, hiding in plain sight. Caught now, chasing Dexter. Patsy will put him down. Astralis, a little flustered now. It felt like it was in their hands. And oh, Patsy, 2, make it 3, the triple to end it all. It's only Glaive. This is it. Spirit have done it. Patsy Aussie again with the multi-kill, and Spirit the 2-0. Oh, Astralis, they are going to remember this game, but Spirit most definitely couple of drinks in the bar tonight. Locked in. Left, right, good night. Astralis thrust into the 2-2 column.
Wow, 2-0 in the danger right here. What a